Hello, I just posted a question yesterday. The question was about series, so it's not sequence, sorry. What is the sum of the following series? 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus it keeps going. So would that be -1 or 0 or a half or 1? And the answer is a half. Did you answer correctly? Kid math is really mind-blowing. Okay, let's see how we answer that question. What is the sum of the following series? 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1. And it keeps going. So the first thought, it would be 0. Why? If we let s equals to that series, we can just put brackets easily like this. So I put brackets 1 minus 1 and then plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 and so on. Since 1 minus 1 is 0, so s equals to 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 and so on. So finally, it ends up with s equals to 0. But there is another thought. The second thought, it would be 1. Why? Okay, now I have colored the -1 to make it easier to be identified. So if we have 1 minus 1, it's actually the same as 1 plus -1. So this one plus 1 plus -1 plus 1 plus -1 plus 1 and so on. Now I want to put brackets inside of these numbers. So I put the brackets between -1 and 1, between the -1 and +1. So plus -1 plus 1 plus -1 plus 1. And s equals to 1 plus, of course, -1 plus 1, it becomes 0. -1 plus 1 is 0. -1 plus is 0, and it keeps going. And finally, we end up with s equals to 1. So which one is correct one? Of course not both of them, because the correct answer would be, if I have this series s equals to 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1, it keeps going. What if I subtract a number 1 by this series s? So that would be 1 subtracted by this whole thing, right? And now I want to remove the brackets. So 1 minus s is equal to 1. Minus of positive 1 will be -1. Minus -1 will be positive 1. Minus of positive 1 will be -1. Minus -1 will be positive 1, and it keeps going until the end of the world. Wait, do you recognize that 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 is actually the s itself? See, they are just the same. So I can just simply replace the right-hand side here by the s. Now it becomes simpler. So I want to remove, or I want to cancel out the s, the negative s, by adding s in both sides. So the negative s and positive s cancel out. So the left-hand side will be 1, and the right-hand side will be s plus s, which is 2s. And the last step, we just need to divide both sides by 2. So it ends up with s equals to a half. And this series is found by Gandhi. So Grandi, not Gandhi, Grandi series. He was an Italian monk, priest, philosopher, theologian, mathematician, and engineer. Wow, give bigger applause for Grandi. Alright, see you in another video.